chickens are venturing out. But do y'all see that out there? Oh my goodness. We got so much rain overnight that is completely flooded. Completely flooded. We're going to have to go out there and check on that. Before we head outside, one of the first things that I want to tackle and get going is some yogurt. And I'm going to be doing this in my bread machine. Hang on. Fletcher, you help with the milk. You help me pour the milk. Let me see your hand. Okay, ready?
I love you. I love you. Wow. Oh, that's cold milk, man. That's yummy. We are making food. That's yummy. Yeah, we are making food, man. Yeah, it's yummy. What the? We are making food together. Yeah. I love you.
Hang on, let me see this real quick.
I love you so much, man. I love you.
I have the sweetest little helpers ever. I had to include the sound from those clips where they're talking about making food together and how much they love each other. Precious sweet memories. Okay, so I'm halving this recipe. The original is 6 cups of milk, a container of store-bought yogurt, or yogurt that you already have made yourself, about a half a cup, and then a container of sweetened condensed milk. I know, y'all, but sweetened condensed milk is so good. You could also add a few tablespoons of honey or maple syrup, whatever you want to sweeten it with, or don't sweeten it at all. We went ahead and sweetened ours, though. I cut all of that in half so that I can make about 1 quart of yogurt when it's all said and done. That's going in our bread machine. It has a yogurt function, so it's going to keep it at the temperature that I need it at. It's going to go for 8 hours. And then tonight, I'm going to show you the whole process. I'm going to show you what it looks like tonight. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like the next morning. So you'll get to see this yogurt from start to finish. I just washed all these cushions and they have pollen and everything all over them again. That's okay. I'll wash them again. This rain hopefully washed some of it out of these pine trees. Justin and Audrey are at church. I'll insert a little clip of his message from today. I know some of y'all enjoy getting to hear some of that.
Not as fools, like we were, but we're not no more, but as wise. Why should we do this? Because we only have a little bit of time. Right. And the Bible tells us to redeem it. Make something of it. We ain't here for long, church. You can live 100 years on this earth, but what is 100 years in the first 10,000 years of eternity? Right. Fraction. This is the start of eternity. I don't care if you live here for 50 years, 60 years, 110 years. You still got an eternity left to do something with. And every person that's ever been born will live forever. Yeah. Somewhere after a while.
They will.
That's right. And we only have a little bit of time to tell them about Jesus. That's why we got to be careful, church. That's why we got to be cautious about how we live our lives and what we do with our time. The Bible says, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise. Do not be a fool, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. Knowledge is good, but knowledge is not wisdom. You can learn everything there is to know about this world, but one day after a while that'll mean nothing because this world will be nothing. Right. You understand? This world is not going. This world, as we see it today, it does not have an eternity. It will be refined. All that is now, all that is corrupt, this world, the briars. You know, I like to go pick blackberries, but my goodness, your hands when you get done picking them, right? Why do they got to put a blackberry on a briar bush? Because the world's fallen, that's why. Right. Because God made something that's really good to eat, but it's not going to be made easy. Adam The way you see this world today, it's not eternal. So why are we so concerned about gaining the whole world that is going to go away while people lose their eternal souls every single day?
I stayed here with some of the younger kiddos because they've been passing around a little bit of a stomach bug. Think they're on the mend, but went ahead and stayed here with them just to be safe. When Justin gets home, we've got some more raspberry bushes that we're going to try to get in the ground. It is so wet right now, but they really need to get in the ground. So I think we're going to do that. Some of that water that I showed you this morning, it's going down. It hasn't flooded like that in a long time. We got a lot of rain overnight. It's still flooded back there. We'll walk out there and look at it, but it's going down a little bit. Matter of fact, let's just walk out there real quick. I had shown a clip of me putting my boots on the other day, and somebody said, I hope you knock those things out. They were saying that where they live, they have big centipedes, and one had gotten in one of their boots one time. Whew, thank goodness we got those here. We do have spiders and wasps and things that we always knocking our boots out before we put them on. The stuff got blowed around. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? We had some feed sitting in here. I think it's up off the ground for the most part, and we do have this tarp underneath it. This usually does not get wet at all, and like I'm standing in water. But we have a tarp under it and then wrapped over it, and back here's dry, but this front part's wet. I hope that feed didn't get wet. Eating bugs off the top of the water. This is all usually dry. And it's gone down from where it was, but it's still several inches deep. Silly chickens, get out of the water. I'll get out of the water. There's some spots out here where it's up to my ankles, even after it started to go down. Our fire pit area is completely underwater. All this out here is completely underwater, and that's not usually the case. This morning, though, the water was all the way up here to this tree. It was all the way out to here. The chickens, they were all either under the porch or they were in their house. But Goose, she was just out loving it this morning. Walking around in the rain, splashing in the water. The front yard flooded a little bit in some of the lower spots. Just here and there though, not big places like this, and thank goodness it seems to be going down at least somewhat quickly, because there wasn't even a gap between where that water's in the fire pit area and this water back here. There was no dry land in between those a few hours ago. That was completely, everything back here was underwater. And there was a garden area that we were getting ready back here. We usually wait a little bit longer to plant that just because we know with the spring rain, it can get pretty wet back here. This is not typical though. It can get pretty wet back here, so it hadn't been planted yet. Thank goodness, or it would all be washed away. completely underwater. I about did it. About busted it. We've got potatoes coming up. Big things this afternoon is going to be hopefully be able to get them raspberries in the ground and then check that feed. There's probably 200 pounds of feed in that shed. Check it and see if it got wet and clean up some of the stuff that got blown around. I'm coming, baby. I see you. I had already planned to do tacos for lunch. And then as we had some people that weren't feeling real well, I was like, well, is tacos the best idea? And I was asking everybody, and those that weren't feeling real great just didn't want to eat anything other than, I think they had a popsicle. And the ones that were feeling great were like, yeah, tacos sounds good. So we went ahead and went on with the tacos. Y'all, I need to invest in one of those cheese graters where you put the cheese in the top and you can turn the handle and it grates the cheese. Do you know what I'm talking about? All I have is this hand grater, which works just fine if I'm doing something like this where I'm just grating what we need for this meal. But when I'm doing large portions, because I've been buying big 5 and 6 pound blocks of cheese and going ahead and shredding some of that and putting it in the freezer. And when I'm working on larger quantities, it takes a long time to do it like this by hand. So if you have a recommendation on a good grater, you know what I'm talking about. You put the cheese in the top and you can turn it, just something that grates cheese faster. Let me know down in the comments and maybe I can find me one that will work good for me. Tacos for lunch. And then we're going to head on out and get some more things done outside. Those things that I mentioned, we're going to get them done. I'll go ahead and tell you, it did start raining on us again when we got outside. You'll hear some rain in the background, but we still got it done. We accomplished what we set out to get done, even on a rainy day. These blackberries are starting to bloom, and wouldn't you know, there's a chance for frost next week. Well, I say next week, in the next like 2 or 3 days. So, blackberry winter, anyone? Maybe they'll survive it. I think they'll be all right. Look, Wyatt.
Huh?
Look right here.
Forward.
Worms are actually good. They help stuff grow.
To put it back in his house.
You want me to put him back in the dirt? Okay. All right. There you go, little friend. We did the Jewel, the first 2, then the Brandywine, and we just said those are both mid-season, and then the Fall Gold. These are when it cools off a little bit. Those 2. Then.
Huh?
And that. Yeah, there he is.
I see him.
Come see him. He's right there. See him?
Uh-huh. I thought he called me out.
Uh-huh.
Now he does dig him.
Yeah, look at him.
He's about to get it.
Where'd the rest of them go?
Under the porch.
Oh, there they are.
Come on. Come here. If you can see in there, kind of look at the. Ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Huh?
Do we need need the extension cord right now, or?
Not tonight.
Look, I got some fresh grass.
It's pretty. Let's make you a rooster.
One of them is.
That's the one with the little silver on it. It's the same one. Look at you flying.
Uh-huh.
Don't take that away.
They are not scared at all.
You shouldn't be. Come on.
Oh, it is.
Come on. Oh.
Come on. Look, the friends are in here eating all the food.
That was the funniest thing. Oh. Hey, dodo bird. Oh. Rooster there.
Is that all?
I guess. Let's see, I'd get the broom and stick it in between the porch and the house and come out.
That's so
They
they
were
can.
stuck right up next to the house.
What? You want to come beside me? So, got the things accomplished that we set out to get accomplished today. Baby chicks are moved onto fresh grass. All the raspberries are planted. There were a few spots that the ground was so wet. Well, one spot that the ground was so wet that we decided to wait on that one to plant it. I just put it in a bucket in some dirt, and once the ground dries out a little bit, we'll put it in the ground. So got all that done. And my yogurt, I'll check it this afternoon, show you what it looks like. It's going to go in the fridge overnight, and then we'll be able to have it for breakfast in the morning. So you'll get to see all that. It's not quite ready just yet. I am running to the store to pick up some drinks for some of those that have not felt well, some Sprites and different things. So I'll catch back up with you when we look at the yogurt here in just a little while. This is what my yogurt looked like when my 8-hour timer went off. Worked out perfectly because I'm putting this in the fridge right before I head off to bed, and it'll be ready and chilled, thickened up nicely in the morning. It's already pretty thick, but as it cools off, it'll thicken even more. You could strain this, so you could put it over a flour sack towel and strain it overnight in the fridge. And then you could separate, especially if you're doing a plain yogurt, and then you could separate the whey. You'd have a thicker yogurt, and you would have the whey that you could use in other fermenting projects like sauerkraut. Heard people putting it in their sourdough bread. You could put it into smoothies. You could use it to ferment chicken feed. And I may make some plain yogurt in the future so that I can have that whey separated to use in some other things. But just for the sake of us eating this yogurt, I'm not going to separate it. And I did go ahead and sweeten it. So this is going to go in the refrigerator, and I'll show you what it looks like in the morning. Good morning, y'all. This is our yogurt. Let me open it up and show it to you. Just look at the consistency. Beautiful. Looks like yogurt. Tastes like yogurt. I'm going to go ahead and fix me a bowl and put some granola, maybe some strawberries on it. You want some yogurt too? Okay, I'll fix you some. You want the crunchies? The granola that's crunchy. You want me to put some in your yogurt and some chocolate chips? Just plain? Blueberries in it? Okay. we've really been enjoying this yogurt. You could hit it with an immersion blender if you wanted it super smooth, but I mean, it's fine for us. And I don't see a reason to dirty up something else. This texture is perfectly fine for us. This is also the consistency, or around the consistency of the yogurt we had been purchasing. So that's good. But if you wanted it thicker, like a Greek style yogurt, just put it over a few layers of cheesecloth and then set it over a bowl. Let it strain overnight in the refrigerator. Then you would have your yogurt and your whey. This right here is good for us. And I made this with raw milk. You can absolutely use pasteurized milk. As a matter of fact, you'll probably get more consistent results with pasteurized milk. I like all the extra good stuff that raw milk offers, but you know, you've got those bacteria that are competing against each other. So you can definitely do this with pasteurized milk, probably even with more consistent results. And I did do it with raw milk this time, but you can 100% do this with pasteurized milk. Thank you for hanging out with me over the last couple days. I'm going to get this put back in the refrigerator. I love you. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.